All right, all right. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday to you. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Even though I came on and said Thursday. So it is Wednesday. Wednesday, hump day. Lot to be thankful for. Lot to be thankful for. I was in the gym early this morning and I was just having some time doing some self-development. And I was I don't know. I just something hit me and I said, man, I'm a lucky human. I got so many things to be thankful for. And I'm sure you could name a few yourself if you just sit back and thought about it. So hope we do that every day. I know some days we get busy and we don't, but we need to. So our word for today is wonder. Wonder. And this one was, I started singing that song. Arlene, do you know that song? Wonder, wonder, wonder who wrote the book of, okay. All right. All right. So here's the thing. You look at the definition of wonder, it's the emotion aroused by something that's inspiring, astounding, or surprising. So I'll tell you what I couldn't get out of my mind this morning when I thought about wonder. I come across this quote that says, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. But I got a question for you. And I had a question for myself this morning as I was thinking about the word wonder. Think about this for yourself. Are you the type person who lets wonder keep you hung up in quicksand? Like, are you a worrier? Are you a person that looks at things and goes, but what if it doesn't work? What if I invest here and it doesn't pay off? What if I go all in and it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't? Or are you a person who lets wonder fuel your imagination? I wonder what it's going to be like this year when we win a state championship. I wonder what it's going to be like when we see this company go to $1 billion. I wonder what it's going to be like when I make this move in an investment and it grows 10x. I wonder what it's going to be like in this relationship I'm in 15 years down the road. Where are we going to be traveling? What are we going to be doing? Or am I a person that is the wanderer of the opposite? I wonder if it'll work. I wonder if it'll last. How many of you, you're one or the other? And at times we could be both. I think in my journey, my life, I've been both. I think a lot of times fear makes us wonder from a pessimistic standpoint. Excitement makes us wonder from an optimistic standpoint. But where I went this morning, I just made some notes. I said, what if there are amazing outcomes that you have never imagined, but could very well be your reality if you just opened your mind and heart to them? And I see it every day. I mean, I had somebody just recently was like, yeah, I've been told before this was going to go big. And I thought, man, so you're not going to go in this time? What if it's the one? What if it's the one? Let me ask you this. Are you somebody that still uses a rotary phone? Or did you buy into this cell phone ability and now you're walking around with a cell phone in your hand? You had to step out and go, man, I'm going to make this choice to wonder if this could be something that could really make my life easier. And I think for most of us, it might have made our life more complicated, but it's made it easier too. We can take a phone call from our kids anywhere in the world, any moment. That's a beautiful thing, you know? But what if I was pessimistic and when I'm not getting that cell phone, they're going to just track me. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And I'm just going to continue to use a rotary phone. There's probably somebody out there that did that. So sometimes we get caught up in the way we've always been programmed, rather than going, hey, I really appreciate the way I've been taught, but what if I let my imagination take me to where it can go? The changes, the opportunities. Just like from a rotary phone to a cell phone, a lot changed during that process. But think about all the times that the person failed trying to create something from a rotary phone to the next evolution. It failed and failed and failed. But finally it connected because somebody kept wondering in the way of positivity, in the way of being optimistic. And so I share that with you because wondering allows you to look ahead and feel hopeful and optimistic that there's something brighter in the future. And for me, Andrea, it's a great lesson for me because I can be one that can get caught up in the pessimistic side rather than staying optimistic for what could come. So I'll turn it to you. Great word today.
Great lesson, though you did step on my toes a little bit, but definitely fall on the other side of that spectrum. I wonder about everything that could go wrong and struggle to wonder about all the things that could go right. So this is a good lesson for me to figure out how to, grow that sense of wonder. And the quote that I found was, "Wonder is the first of all passions." And that's Rene Descartes. And I thought, man, if we could just cultivate that. And there's times in our life, I think all of us can see where we are just living in this place of joy and wonder, and we're just experiencing everything around us. And then there's other times where we're just scurrying through the day. We've got our blinders on. We're like those horses in downtown that can't look left, they can't look right, and we're not seeing any of the beauty and the, all of the joy that we could and all those possibilities that we can. So what I looked into is, how do we see more of it? Like, how do we cultivate that sense of wonder in our everyday life? So the first thing that I found, they said, seek out displays of mastery and genius. And so what does that mean? There is so much genius surrounding us everywhere. So maybe that's you have a conversation and I call up Alan White and I say, tell me a little bit about fishing. Tell me a little bit about hunting, because this is something that he has mastery in. This is something that he's really good at, or at least really enjoys. So when I can slow down and just listen to somebody tell me about it, I can get that sense of wonder. It can also be, maybe I watch a documentary about, a Nobel Prize winner, or I visit a museum and I look at beautiful pieces of art, or I watch like an Olympic trial and we see somebody that has mastered their body and they've created something amazing. So just go tune in to somebody else that has something that they have passion for, that they have found, joy in, and that can help you create more wonder in your life. Next is to look at your own life through somebody else's eyes. So, I think one of a really fun way that we've all done this is when you have somebody visit you in your hometown and you get to show them around. And you're like, oh, here's my favorite yard. Look at all their pretty flowers. And here's my favorite restaurant. They have the best whatever it might be, key lime pie. You get to show somebody around. You can tell where my brain's at all the time. But you get to show somebody around at your life. And it could be that you're just walking them through your house and you're showing off the little, nooks and crannies with your favorite picture, or, oh yeah, you should check out that book because it's one of my favorites. But, so many times we walk through our own home, or we walk through our own hometown, and we don't experience any of it because we're so used to it. So if we pretend that we're showing somebody else, that can help us create that sense of wonder right here. Same kind of thing is to approach things from a new angle. And the only example I could come up with, but I'm sure there's a million, but the only one I could come up with is how we watch a sunset. So I don't know about you guys, but I watch a sunset from up to down, right? I watch that sun move down. But if we actually look at the ground, right? So maybe you look at the ocean as the sun's coming down into it, instead of looking at the sun as it's coming down, it's a whole different perspective. It's a whole different beauty. It's absolutely incredibly gorgeous, but I hadn't seen it before because I never looked at that way, right? So check out things from a different angle. Maybe you lay in the grass and you look up at the sky. I don't know. You look at your spouse for a different way. But if you can approach things from a different angle, it's going to allow you to have that sense of wonder. Again, next one is change the context. So, so much of our life is done on autopilot. At least mine. You guys might walk around, everything might be fresh and new, but my life feels like I'm washing the same dishes every single day. So when you can change the context, so maybe normally when you wash the dishes, you're looking down, but instead look out that window, or put on some music in the background, or try to have a good conversation, but just change a little bit about something that you always do, and that can help create that wonder again. Next is to get out of Dodge. And just had the gift of this to bebop around, played tourist out in California. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about it, but we got to travel and see things that we hadn't seen in some time. And so try to do that in your daily life, or at least maybe weekly or monthly. And even if you just go to the town 15 minutes away, you have your normal coffee shop, well, go to the one that's 15 minutes away and enjoy that. Or go to the next town over and see what they have to offer, because that can help us rediscover that sense of wonder. And then lastly is change your lenses. How are you focusing on things? We all walk through life with our lenses on, and maybe they're rose colored, maybe they're a little bit gray. I don't know, but work to change that lens and truly focus on all of your senses. So, truly stop and smell those roses, or zoom in on that picture. Or when you go to hug your kids today, touch their face, right? Like actually lay hands on them in a different way. And that's going to help you immerse yourself in that moment and reclaim that sense of wonder. And with that, I'm wondering, do we have our birthday girl? I haven't seen her yet, Diane Peterson. Did you see her today? She might be on Facebook.
I didn't see Diane Peterson. Yeah.
Well, you tell me if we get to sing to her on Facebook, but she's usually so good about joining us, and it's her birthday today.
I think we should end with a song. Diane Peterson, happy birthday. If she's watching in, normally she watches in through Facebook sometimes, so we want to definitely